Hey guys, Dustin here, CEO of 630, and today we are going to do an electric bike sizing with women from 4'11 to 6'2". You can see them all standing here behind me. It's going to be incredible to see how they fit on every 630 electric bike and give you an idea at home how you would fit on one of our bikes also. Stick around. All right, so before we have the women get fit and check their sizing on each bike and also take a test ride, I'm just gonna walk you through each electric bike model we have and give you some of the specs and the ranges so you can better understand them before we show you the fits and the sizing. So let's start over here at our Every Journey women's with the rear mounted battery. Now this model currently comes in a 500 watt and a 250 watt. And it has the battery mounted on the rear, so you can easily remove and replace the battery. As you can see, you can take it out, bring it inside with you to charge, or if you park your bike somewhere, bring it into your office. It's a real beauty to be able to just slide this back on, and now your battery's back mounted. So we have two different power levels, 500 watt, 250 watt. 500 watt in a full throttle is gonna give you about 20 miles an hour, meaning no pedaling, and also, and then in pedal assist, you're gonna be able to hit up to 28, depending on the kind of output you can produce with your own legs and the assistance of the motor. The 250 watt version is gonna take you 18 miles an hour with just the throttle and about 25 miles an hour with the pedal assist. The pedal assist output really depends on how strong your legs are as a rider though. And keep in mind, this bike also can be ridden as a standard bike. You can leave the motor in the off position. It rides pretty much the same as a standard bike. You're gonna see in the test ride the women taking it out. They're gonna do some pedaling before they engage the motor so you can get a feel for it. Now on this bike, we've also used a smaller display right here. This is where you turn your power on and off, and you'll do your plus and minus for your pedal assist. There's 5 ranges in terms of the pedal assist. Output ranges 1 to 5. Level 1 gives you the least amount of assistance. Level 5 will give you the most amount of assistance for the motor, and you can decide what kind of power you get from the motor when you ride. In terms of the range for the battery, if you're doing full throttle, you're going to get about 20 to 30 miles of range just doing the throttle. Pedal assist, you're going to get 40 to 60 miles of range, but there's a lot of factors that play into that, like the terrain, the conditions, also the weight and the size of the rider have a big effect on the range you get from the battery. So these are just general ideas for the range, but again, the weather factors, the terrain, other elements play into that. Has the front disc brakes, and also this one is the ergonomic frame design, has a step-through frame design, easy for on and off mounting, and also the forward pedaling design. So when you sit here, your legs are gonna be about 5 inches forward, which means you can get proper leg extension when riding, but still be close to the ground when stopping. It's a great safety feature and also comfort feature. And it has a very nice ergonomic ride, so your back's gonna be upright, your arms can be relaxed. It's a very, very comfortable ride for any bike, especially for an electric bike. Easy to go lots of miles on without feeling strain on your body. Now, moving on to this Every Journey, the frames are the same kind of ergonomic forward pedaling design where you're gonna be upright, back upright, super comfortable, forward pedaling design so you can be low to the ground, feet flat when stopped, still ample leg extension when riding. The difference between these two Every Journeys, this has an internal battery mount inside the frame here in the middle of the bike, and this also only comes in a 250 watts. So top speed's gonna be 18 with the full throttle and about 25 for pedal assist. And again, the 250 watt output for most women is gonna be ample, depending on the type of hills you're gonna be doing or if you're gonna tow weight capacity. You're gonna see in the test rides though, women that test ride these, they're gonna feel a lot of power just from the 250 watts. So make sure you choose the right wattage for you. You don't always need more power just because you can have it. Another upside is having the battery mounted in the middle of the frame here. It's a nice weight distribution when you're riding. Some people like it better for balance. The other advantage We have a larger screen in the middle here. It's going to show you your power left on the battery, your range, your speed, which this display also shows all of the same things, but you just have a bigger display. Whether you like a big display or a small display, totally up to you. It doesn't affect the performance of the actual battery. And then in terms of range, same thing, 40 to 60 miles, full throttle, and 20 to 30 pedal assist. But again, the weight of the rider, the terrain, the conditions all play into the range you are going to get out of the battery. And same thing, you can adjust your assistance here on the gauges, and you have your throttle at your thumb, and disc brakes as well for ample stopping power. Now, you cannot remove the battery easily in this frame, so if taking the battery on and off when you go places is a big feature you want, then you might want to look at this every journey. But for this one, it's a simple, sleek design. You can barely tell it's an e-bike. So up to you what you decide is best. Now, moving on to our Tricycle. This is a 250 watt bicycle, and it actually has a front-mounted hub motor, because in the rear here, there's not a great place to put a motor. Like on the bikes, you have the motor in the rear hub. You can do the mid-drive mount motors on the Tricycles, but to bring costs down, make it more cost-effective, we put it in the front hub. Now, this is a 250 watt motor. Top speeds on this with pedal assist are going to be about 16 miles an hour. Full throttle is going to be anywhere from 13 to 15. And again, with pedal assist, you could get this going about 20 miles an hour. I don't recommend it on a Tricycle. It's just not safe because of having the rear wheels. You don't want to get these going too fast. There is a possibility of tipping on Tricycles. It's not common, but if you get the speeds going too fast around turns, it can happen. So I'd like to say max speed on this about 16 with the throttle, depending on the capacity you have in there and the weight, 13, 15 miles an hour. You're going to see in another video on YouTube, I actually hop in the rear basket. I'm 220 pounds, and I can be towed around no problem. With Alana driving, she's 110. So even at 330 pounds of capacity, it moves well, can hit top speeds above 10 miles an hour. So you've got your step-through frame, easy to get on and off. Same Tricycle or same every journey forward pedaling design for comfort and ergonomics. I can go ahead and hop on. You're going to see the fitting and the sizings though coming up, and you can see back is upright, and of course with the 3 wheels you don't have to worry about balance. And we've got actually on the 250 watt the brake pads on the rear wheel, so the caliper brakes, that's ample stopping power with the 250 watt, and then you've got the rear drum brakes that stop nicely in the rear. And then we've used the smaller display on this one as well, just to keep it sleek, less bulky. You've got your 5 levels of pedal assist on this bike as well. And range is the same. Now the range in the Trike's going to be less. So I'm going to say on the Trike, you're going to get about 30 to 40 miles full throttle at best case. But because you're dragging more rubber on the road and potentially things in the basket, that's going to bring it down. So the weight on the bike is going to have a big effect on the range you're going to get out of the battery. But I'll say 30 to 40, best case scenario with full throttle. And I'm going to say, I take that back. Pedal assist, 30 to 40. And then full throttle, you're looking at maybe 10 to 20 miles with just using the throttle. So 30 to 40 miles with pedal assist, 10 to 20 with full throttle on the Tricycle. And again, you're dragging more weight. You've got more rubber on the road. That's going to affect the range of the battery. All right, moving on down now, the Every Journey Fat Tire. We've used very much the same things as the Every Journey. It's basically the same bike. You've got the rear mounted battery. This is a 500 watt. Now it's got the 4-inch tires, which are massive. This is great if 2 things. 1, you're doing some off-roading, trail riding, things like that. Or 2, you're a taller woman, and you're going to see in the sizing to come, a lot of the taller women, 5'7" and above, really fit this bike nicely because the big tires elevate the bike off the ground, and it makes it better for their legs to get better leg extension. Now on this one, same thing with the battery. You're going to get a little bit less, so I've said 40 to 60 pedal assist on the other Every Journey. In this one, you're looking at best case 30 to 50 miles, depending on the weight. Again, with the thicker tires, you're dragging more rubber, creating more resistance, and just draining the battery overall faster. And on the full throttle, I'm going to say 10 to 20 miles. Again, same thing, the motor's gonna have to work harder to turn these wheels, which is gonna drain the battery quicker. So something to consider when you are shopping for your electric bike. The other thing I forgot to mention now that I wanna just look back and say, all of these bikes also feature 7-speed external derailleurs. So outside of the electric motor, they have a 7-speed derailleur, so you can ride it in 7 speeds, 1 through 7, what you choose, whether you're going up hills or whatever, which is a great option to have those gear ratios. And those gears are just for the bicycle element of these, not anything to do with the electrical components of the bike. Now, disc brakes on here for the front and the rear, going to be great for ample stopping power. When you get these big tires turning, you're going to need the disc brakes. Okay, moving on to our classic cruiser, the Around the Block. Now, this is very similar in spec to the first Every Journey, the rear mount battery, 40 to 60 miles of range in pedal assist, and 20 to 30 with full throttle. You've got the same sleek display here. This is available currently in 250 watt and 500 watt. 500 watts going to get you going 20 miles an hour in full throttle, up to 28 pedal assist. And the disc brakes front and the rear. And this is just a classic cruiser, the upright kind of traditional cruiser style where you got your arms very relaxed. It's really a nice ride, especially if you want something traditional. And I forgot to mention on the fat tire, sorry to backtrack, top speeds on this, still going to be 20 miles an hour in full throttle, but as you work the bike faster, again, you're going to drain the battery. Pedal assist is going to be 28 max, but I think it's going to be hard pressed to get this bike going that fast. So I would assume, 22, 23 miles an hour best case in the fat tire, just because harder to turn those tires over. So finishing up with the Around the Block, removable battery, easy to get on and off, just like the Every Journey. Has the 7-speed Shimano derailleur. If you want to ride it like a normal bike, you won't even really notice the difference if you take the battery off and ride it like a normal bike. Has the pedal assist feature and the full throttle. Now, moving down to our body ease. This is our comfort bike, but that is mixed with like a lot of all-purpose riding. So you've got the thinner tires on here, which are really ideal for pavement if you want to roll faster. You've got the suspension seat post and the suspension fork. Now you got two options with this fork. You can lock it out, meaning it doesn't move at all, or you can unlock so it can move up and down, and that's going to provide shock absorption as you go over bumps and curbs and rocks or whatever you may hit on your ride. So this is like the comfort bike built to do exercise or longer riding, things like that. You're going to be in an upright ride. You've got a nice wide saddle, and it's got the same removable battery as the Every Journey and ATB. And this is available in 500 watts. So 20 miles an hour full throttle and 28 miles an hour pedal assist. And the range is the same, 40 to 60 miles in pedal assist and 20 to 30 in full throttle. And really, I want to stress that the ranges in the batteries vary so much on the rider's weight, conditions, terrain, things like that. But this is great if you want an e-bike, but you want some comfort features. You're going to see in the sizing portion of the video, though, this bike's really ideal for riders 5'4" and above. And you'll see why, just because of the legs and the suspension seat post that has to be raised about 4 inches at all times. Same disc brakes, good stopping. It's a great all-purpose e-bike. Now moving on to our city bike. Actually, lastly, rewind, sorry. We've got the bigger screen on here, so it's going to be easy to see as you look down on it. Your speed, your battery life, everything will be right here in the middle. Same screen here on our Ride in the Park. So this is our city bike. This has a really great step through, as does the body ease, and a very upright, comfortable riding. And you've got the pedals, which are very comfortable right here. You can see you don't have to reach. And this one is great because it's got the thinner tires, so this one can really zip around. Now you've got the 500 watt battery, just like the ATB and the Every, but with the thinner tires, you get a little more zip and a little bit more agility where you can corner a little bit faster. So if you're looking for something with a step through and comfort, but you want to have that zippiness, the Ride in the Park is really a great option. So 40 to 60 miles, pedal assist, 20 to 30 in full throttle, or even 20 to 40 in full throttle. And if you should watch a video where I go on a bike ride with Nate, and I do full throttle with some full hills and everything. And we make it about 21 miles, but again, I'm 220 pounds, and these are some serious hills. So it depends on the terrain. I just want to stress that more and more. So battery's easily removable. Bring it in with you and charge wherever you go. And you've got the front and rear disc brakes and the 7-speed external derailleur. So stop on a dime. Also ride this bike like a normal bike, and you'll see in the test rides how people ride this bike. In addition, we've got some other test riding videos you can check out of the Every Journey if you want to see how other women 4'11" to 6'2" look when they test ride that. Now, moving on to our last bike, our Reach Your Destination. This is our Commuter E-Bike. This has thin tires as well, and a little bit more of an aggressive riding position. Features the same rear mount battery, easily removable, 40 to 60 miles of range in pedal assist, 20 to 40 in full throttle. And I know I've said 20 to 30 and 20 to 40 in full throttle because it really depends. I like to think 20 should be the absolute minimum, but the terrain still plays into it. 40 would probably be absolute maximum unless you're really preserving the battery. Front and rear disc brakes, 7-speed derailleur, and we've got the screen here. And all of these the Body Ease, Ride in the Park, Reach Destination, all have the controls at your thumb here with the throttle and the up and the down, and you'll see your pedal assist levels right here on the screen. So you'll see a lot of women wanted to test ride this bike. It's very comfortable. It's got a little bit straighter of a handlebar, but still kinked a little bit so they come back into your body. So it's really a more comfort-based commuter bike. And again, the thinner tires make it really zippy with the 500 watts of power. So if you like to zip around or you want power, the thin tires are going to reduce resistance, make this bike feel a lot faster than the Every Journey or the Around the Block. Top speeds, again, are going to be 20 miles an hour, full throttle, and 28 pedal assist. And all of these e-bikes are Class 2 e-bikes if you're wondering about your local laws and legalities. But check with your local municipalities and counties for the actual specifics around what's legal and not legal where you ride. But classified as Class 2 e-bikes. The other thing, too, I'll say about why is every one of these e-bikes, except for the 250 watts, top speed with the full throttle has been 20, because the motors actually are regulated to cut out at 20. That's what's legal here in California. You cannot do full throttle higher than 20 miles an hour, and technically you cannot do pedal assist higher than 28. So if you hit 28 miles an hour with pedal assist on the e-bike, the motor will also cut. And then when you're talking about the full throttle, when you hit 20, it will cut. Not cut it completely, but it's going to reduce your power output till your speeds get below 20. And again, that's a legal feature, also a safety feature. If you've never ridden an e-bike, 20 miles an hour is going quite fast. 28 miles an hour is going very, very fast. So that's a feature on it. So that's the Reach Your Destination. I'll just run through really quick. So Reach Your Destination, 500 watt electric e-bike. Ride in the Park, 500 watt electric e-bike. Body Ease, 500 watt electric e-bike. Around the Block, available in 500 watt and 250 watt electric. The Women's Fat Tire, Every Journey, 500 watt. Our electric Tricycle, 250 watt. Our Every Journey internal battery, 250 watt. And our Every Journey available in 250 and 500 watt. So that's all the models on the run through. Stick around for the sizing and the test ride so you can get a sense of how your body type might fit and look on one of these bikes. All right, so we are here with Olivia. Olivia's 4'11". And what was your inseam?
26.
And your arm length?
19.
19. All right, so we are gonna test her out starting on our Every Journey, see if she fits. We're gonna take her through all the 630 electric bikes, see how she fits, then she's gonna pick her favorite and go through for a little test ride. Another special little note about Olivia, she's never ridden an e-bike before. That's the truth, right?
Yes.
She's telling the truth. She is not a paid actor, never ridden an e-bike, so you're gonna see it for the first time on camera today. We're gonna give her a helmet and take it slow, but you'll be able to see how she fits at 4'11" and how she rides for the first time. So let's do this. Okay, so we've got our Every Journey electric bike, so go ahead and hop on, or there you go, stand over it, and can you slide back? So pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Here, actually put your feet down. Yeah, there we go. So you can see she's a little bit on her tippy toes, but not too bad. The handlebars are maybe a little bit high, so we could actually tilt those down. When she goes for a test ride, we'll perfectly adjust it to her body. But I would say for the every journey, for Olivia, 26-inch inseam and 19-inch arm length, we've got a good fit here. So go ahead and hop off there. And let's move on now to our other every journey. This is our internal 250 watt. The every journey here comes in the first model comes in the 500 watt and the 250 watt. This is our 250 watt internal battery, same frame, same styling. You can see this one's a fit also. She's got her feet up on the tippy toes, but not too much. Actually, I should say the ball of her feet. So this is definitely a fit. And again, we can adjust the handlebars down a little bit, get her arms a little bit more comfortable, but this is definitely gonna work for her. So if you wanna go ahead and hop off. All right, now moving on to our electric tricycle, 250 watts. Let's see, is the seat actually low as it can go? Okay, so this one, now interesting about the tricycle, she can't get her feet to the ground, but because you have 3 wheels, go ahead and put your feet on the pedals. She could still ride the tricycle. Obviously, balance isn't an issue. Mounting and dismounting may not be as easy for someone who's 5'2" and above, but she definitely could still ride this because you don't have to worry about balancing. So go ahead and just get off. There you go. So not too bad for her at 4'11". Actually, let me adjust the seat here before you hop on. Okay, now this is our every journey fat tire. Now this is going to be a little bit higher off the ground because of the bigger tires. Go ahead and try. Okay, so this one's definitely a no-go for Olivia. It's a little too tall, so go ahead and hop off. You can see because even though the frame is the same as the first 2 every journey e-bikes, with the bigger tires, it lifts the bike off the ground, makes it a little more difficult for her to mount and dismount. All right, moving along to the around the block, which comes in a 500 watt and a 250 watt. That one actually works for her okay. So you can see we can adjust the handlebars. She can get her feet at a proper stopping position. Go ahead and put your front foot or one of your feet on the pedal, that right foot, yeah. And she can get ample leg extension. We could probably even raise the seat up a little bit for her. So that's definitely a fit for her. So go ahead and hop off. Okay, now this one, try to just step through. This is the body ease. Now, on the body ease, we have a suspension seat post. You can swap the seat post. We're not gonna do it on camera right now, which would lower the seat, but it raises the seat up about 4 inches. So go ahead and just try. Actually, no need to try. You can tell just by looking at it, not gonna work for Olivia. Seat's too high, way too dangerous for her at 4'11". So if you're 4'11", skip the body ease. Take a look at the every journey or around the block so far. Okay, moving on down. Go ahead and step through the ride in the park and try to slide your butt back on the seat if you can. And okay, try to put your feet, okay. So that one's a no-go for her also at 4'11". Go ahead and slide off. So that's gonna be too tall for her as well. With the 700C tires, the frame's a little bit bigger than the every journey. It doesn't have that forward pedal frame technology like the every journey does. So that one's a no-go for Olivia at 4'11". Now this one's got a higher step over. So try to put your feet down. Same thing, reach your destination. For absolute safety, I would say no-go on this one as well. Go ahead and step off. So Olivia at 4'11", 26-inch inseam and 19-inch arm length. We've got all the every journeys, the tricycle if she so chooses, and then also the around the block are a fit for her to ride. So which one do you want to give a go?
Teal one.
The teal one. Okay, so she wants to do the 250 watt internal. Let's make our way over there. Alana, you want to grab her the helmet. Safety first. You are about to witness something special. Maiden voyage on an electric bike. We'll even give her a little tutorial here.
We didn't even let her practice so we could capture this moment on camera.
Okay, so let me tilt the handlebars down a little bit for you. So go ahead and sit down on the seat. Deep breaths. Is that a little better?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. When's the last time you rode a regular bike?
Years.
Wow. Okay. You're really seeing this. You're seeing this on camera, folks. One thing I can suggest is we can start you out. That's the beauty of the options here is you can ride it like a normal bike. Before you engage the electric, we can get her comfortable with riding. So let's do this. Go ahead and kick the kickstand up. Okay, so the motor's off.
Okay.
And let's actually click the motor on. We're gonna show you how this works. So this is your assistance from the motor. You can actually pedal and the motor will help you, or you can hit this button and it will act as a throttle and it will do all the work for you. So what we can do is we're gonna put this in 0. So right now this is like a normal bicycle. So go ahead and just do a little loop and ride and yeah, there you go. There you go. Swing that pedal. Here, let me show you. Actually, swing this pedal back. Now I'll get that pedal right there you go. So you can push. She's off. We're getting her acclimated.
I think it's easier to start with the throttle, actually.
She might be in too high of a gear.
I can ride a bike. I didn't lie.
Put your feet down. There you go.
Okay.
Actually, what speed are you in? You're in 4th. Was it a little hard for you to pedal?
Maybe a little, yeah.
Okay, here, let me do something for you really quick. I'm just gonna go ahead and get this into 1st gear for her. Okay. Now we got it so she can get going a little bit easier. Okay. Okay. Now, do you feel comfortable? Do you want to try riding again?
I want to try it.
Okay. Without the electric or with the electric?
The electric.
Okay. So go ahead and get your kickstand. And we're going to put you into pedal assist 1.
Okay.
And go ahead. So here, get your pedals. There you go. Keep pedaling. This is a real life reaction, folks. Oh boy. Do you want to just try to keep going straight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Turnings.
Hit the throttle.
So we are witnessing firsthand from not riding a bike in however many years, we will confirm that, to up and riding and loving it, smiling, giggling, laughing. Now again, we would work with her, you know,
I should check on her.
practice.
Oh, she's got it. Try the throttle.
So by your left hand, push the button. Catch the reaction here.
Try the throttle.
No, she did.
Oh.
Okay, great. I tried the throttle. It was fun.
How was it?
It was good.
If you had to estimate how many years since you last rode a bike?
10.
Wow. So 10 years, no riding. She could do the electric first time. Little rusty, but you could get it back, right?
I didn't fall.
That's true, you did not. Okay, cool, you can hop off. So Olivia, 4'11", 26-inch inseam, 19-inch arms, just rode an electric bike for the first time in her life after not having even ridden a bike for 10 years, and she did it. I also want to point out, she's in some footwear that's not conducive to bike riding, so we could take a lot of other precautionary measures to make this even easier for her. But I think 1 or 2 more times and you've got the hang of it, or even another 20 minutes and she's, you know, off and running. So we've got a fit for her on the Every Journeys and the Around the Blocks. Let's move on to our 5-foot rider. Okay, we're here with Chev now, and Chev has ridden a bike recently, but has never ridden an e-bike in her entire life. And she's 5 feet tall. And what's your inseam?
Inseam is 27.
27. Do you remember your arms? Did you measure the arm?
18.
18. So 27-inch inseam, 18-inch arms. Actually, that's, I believe, shorter than our 411 rider then.
My arms are?
The inseam. So that's one thing to pay attention to is height does matter in the fit sizing of electric, or normal bikes too, but the inseam is also a factor. So we'll see how that plays out right now with Chev. So we're gonna take her through all the bikes. I have a feeling she won't fit on a couple of them, but we'll walk through it. So let's start over here on the Every Journey. And I'd also like to just mention, everyone, all these bikes we have here come in various color options. So take a look on our website, sixthreezero.com. The Every Journey comes in like a navy, mint green, teal. These are just different color palettes we laid out for today. Okay, so go ahead and give it a shot. Sit on there. Okay, cool. So I would say definitely a fit. You feel comfortable on that?
Yeah.
We can adjust the handlebars a little bit down for her, but you can see feet are in a good position. It's safe. That'll work for her. All right, let's move on.
All right, here we have the Every Journey internal. This one's a 250 watt, go ahead. So it's the same frame as our Every Journey that she just tried, and it looks like it's also a good fit. How does it feel?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I think you're even less up on the balls of your toes with this one.
Yeah.
So I'd say it's a fit.
Cool.
All right, let's keep moving down the line.
This one?
Yep.
Yeah, hop on. So on the Tricycle, because you have 3 wheels and you're balancing, getting your feet to the ground is not as essential. So you can see she actually cannot get her feet on the ground. But with the 3 wheels, it's not as big of a deal because you don't have to balance. Can you go ahead and put your feet on the pedals? So with her feet on the pedals, it's an okay fit, right? She can pedal and ride. So it's really what you're comfortable with. You wouldn't need to get off the bike, quickly like you would on a 2-wheeled bike. So go ahead and dismount. Let's see how that is for you. And not too bad. She can get off pretty easily. So I would say that one's a fit too. Moving on here. So you want to hold the bike for her.
The fat
So go ahead
tire.
and step through, but don't try to get on the seat.
Yeah, just stand in front
And
of
see if you
it.
can slide. Can you even get your butt up on the seat?
Barely.
Okay, so barely. So for safety, now again on the fat tire, the frame is higher off the ground with the bigger wheels, so it's harder for her to get her feet on the ground. So this one's definitely not a fit for Chev at 5 feet with the 27-inch inseam. So go ahead and hop off.
Okay. Here we have the around the block. I think this will be a good fit. And yeah, it is. How does it feel?
Pretty good.
Yeah, it looks like a good fit. Her feet are where I'd want them to be. Yeah, even the handlebars look good.
Yep,
All right.
definitely a fit. Moving on. The one thing I'll say too, for Chev too and everyone at home, the safest way to mount if you're trying the bike, get your leg over, stand over the tube, and then try to slide back onto the seat. Don't try to go straight for sitting on the seat, because then you might end up like levitating your one leg too high. So just a piece of advice here. This one, I'm certain she won't be able to fit, but go ahead and step over and just show them how you can't. So with the body ease, again, you've got the suspension seat post, so it raises the seat up a little bit. So that's definitely not a fit for her. You could swap the seat post, lower that down. Might be a closer fit for her, but as it comes standard, not a fit.
All right, next we have the Ride in the Park. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, this one, it's a bit of a stretch. I would say not a good fit, just to be on the safe side. Although you could probably ride it because you're a little bit of an experienced rider. But just for safety reasons, and especially if you're not used to riding a bike or haven't ridden in a long time, if you're 5 feet like Chev, 27-inch inseam, yeah, I would avoid
Yep.
this one, the Ride in the Park.
So far I would stick to the Every Journey Traditional with the 500 watt or 250, the first one, or the internal battery 250 or the around the block. Now let's move down to the last one to reach your destination. Let me go ahead and straighten this seat out really quick too. All right, go ahead. So that's, borderline. I would say not a fit for her as an e-bike, just because you're dealing with a motor. Accidents do happen on electric bikes. She's way up on her tippy toes. She's really on the border. So if you're 27-inch, 28-inch inseam, 5 feet, it's probably a no, but maybe getting into the 5'1", 29-inch inseam, you're going to be very close. But for Chev, not a fit. So out of the ones that you fit on, Chev, which one do you think you'd want to try?
Ooh, I don't know. Like all those fit me, right? Like the first three.
So we got the Pine Melon, which is this green one, the around the block,
Yeah.
or the first three, the Every Journey 2, or the Tricycle.
Maybe that second blue one, the teal one.
All right, teal again.
Teal's
Is that
popular.
what you picked?
Oh, Olivia also picked that, but you know what? That's okay. Okay, so you're gonna watch Chev get her first intro into e-bike riding.
The helmet, you can adjust this here.
Cool.
Okay, we're here with Chev. She's all helmeted up. We're ready to go. And this is gonna be her first time ever sitting on an e-bike. She did disclose she rides electric scooters in Hollywood, LA area. So she's familiar with electric propulsion two-wheeled vehicles, but first time on a bike. So go ahead and hop on. I'll give you a quick tutorial. Okay, cool. So your course, we're gonna try to have you cruise around here and do like a big loop,
Okay.
if you can. So the beauty of the electric bikes, you're gonna turn it on here. Screen's gonna pop on. And this is your pedal assist. So you have two modes. One is where you're, three actually. One, you're pedaling and the motor's gonna help you pedal.
Mm-hmm.
Two is you can actually push this throttle and let the bike, the electricity, do all the work. Or three is turn it off. So what I would suggest is let's turn it off to 0.
Okay.
Just take a quick lap, get yourself familiar with the bike. Okay, so Chev, good experienced rider. Now if you want to, Chev, you can hit the up button on that controller and now start pedaling. And the motor kicks in. That is the first, that's the reaction first time ever electric reaction right there. Now go ahead and hit the straightaway if you want. Just keep going down that way, and you can also push that throttle with your thumb. First time rider reactions.
That's so fun. That's awesome.
And you can definitely feel it kick in,
Yeah,
right?
totally.
Cool.
That's awesome.
So there you have it. First time ever on an electric bike. Chev picked it up super quick with prior bike riding experience. Was pretty easy, right?
Yeah, totally.
I think in another 3 minutes she'd be an expert. So Chev's 5 foot. She's got 27-inch inseam,
18 arm.
18-inch arm. It's a fit for her on her every journeys and around the block. Let's move up to our 5'1" rider and see how they fit.
All right, now we're here with Caroline. She's 5'1", like me. And what's your inseam?
28 inches.
28-inch inseam and 20-inch
Yep.
arm length. And so we're going to see how she does on our different bike models. Let's get started with the Every Journey.
And Caroline's never ridden an e-bike before, but she has ridden a bike 2 months ago, she said.
All
So
right. To
after
mount,
she
you
does
can
her
just
fitting,
flip
she'll choose
the
her favorite,
Okay.
and
brakes
we'll see
then
how she
step
fits
through.
on the test ride.
Looks like a good fit to me. I think we could even raise the seat a little bit.
Yeah, so it's
Um,
definitely going to fit her. What we'll do is after she goes through all of them, we'll dial it in perfectly for her to go on a test ride, but we won't do the adjusting right now.
But definitely a fit for her. We could raise this seat a little bit more. I think you could even put your feet flat on the ground
Yep.
if you wanted to. Yep, so a good fit on the Every Journey. Let's try the next bike.
Let's just go ahead and prep this a little bit for her. now that we've got an idea. Okay, try that.
All right.
Might be too high now. Nope, pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. She's up on her toes a little, which is my preferred riding position. I'm sure you would get good leg extension with the seat at this height. So good fit on the Every Journey internal.
So keep in mind the first bikes are traditional Every Journey with the battery on the rear rack. That comes in a 500 watt 250. This is the internal 250 watt Every Journey, but the frames are the same in terms of the step over height and positioning.
All right. So next we have the Every Journey Tricycle. Let's see. Yep, definitely will be able to ride the Trike. The seat is a little bit, I mean, you're a little higher off the ground with this one, but with the Trike, you don't really need to have your feet on the ground because you don't need to worry about balance as much. So, yeah, looks like a good fit.
Sweet.
Okay, and the fat tire. Also looks like it works out.
Yeah, so this is our Every Journey 500 watt. Similar frame to the first Every Journey, but with the bigger tires, it lifts the bike off the ground. But at 5.1, she's getting her feet down with ample positioning, so that's definitely a fit. And again, we could dial it in a little bit more to her for the test ride.
All right. I think this one will have to raise the seat.
Yeah.
So this is the around the block.
And what was your inseam again, Caroline?
28.
So 28-inch inseam. So you see there's a lot of things at play in the sizing, like the height, the inseam. Also the shoes do play into it, like thickness of soles, which we're not measuring sole thickness today, but that does actually add a few inches sometimes.
Yep, and this looks like a good fit. I think we could raise the handlebars a little bit more. It's a lot lower than the other bikes were, but yeah, good fit.
Yep. So far, Caroline is a fit on everything. Now this one may be a little bit more challenging. Now don't try to get on the seat, just step through the frame first, and then see if you can slide your butt on. Okay, so it's gonna be a little bit high. Go ahead and try to sit back. I'll hold the bike with Alana. It's okay if your feet are not on the ground. Put your other.
Yep.
Yep. So you can go ahead and.
Okay.
You can go ahead and put your feet down now.
Sweet.
And get off. Yeah. So you can see with the body ease, the seat post has a suspension seat post. If we were to switch the seat post and lower it, she'd be able to fit. But if you want the suspension seat post at 5.1, it's still not going to be a fit on the body ease.
All right, let's move on to the ride in the park. Let's see how it fits.
So now we're on to the ride in the park. And at 5.1, that's an easy fit for Caroline. And she nods in approval. Maybe she likes that one. So that's a good fit. So if she wants to test ride that one, we'll get it perfectly sized for her.
And you're the first out of the 3 who've tested the bikes that fits.
That's true. So the
Yeah.
first height that fits the ride in the park so far has been 5.1, Caroline with the 28-inch inseam.
All right, last one. Let's see.
Short
This one
legs.
has a higher top tube, but looks like a good fit.
So yeah,
Similar
again,
to the others.
yep, our first rider. So Caroline fits every electric bike 630 offers except for the body ease. Now, having sat on and looked at and seen, which one do you want to test ride?
Probably the last one.
Okay, so she's going to go for the ride in the park. So let's go ahead and pull this out and get her all set up.
So far, teal has been the most popular color.
Okay, so Caroline's suited up, safety first. She's got her helmet, and her first time is about to ride the e-bike. Are you nervous a little bit?
A little.
Okay, don't worry, we'll take care of you. So why don't you go ahead and hop on and get comfortable, and I'm just gonna see how I can adjust the handlebars. Does that feel like good to you, or would you rather they be a little higher?
It feels pretty good.
Okay, I wanna try something, just see how you like this. I think we can get it even more comfortable for you. Sorry. Okay, try that now. Does that
That's
feel a little
good.
better?
Yeah.
See, I've been doing this for almost 20 years, so just get the handlebars a little bit closer to your body. Oh, we're filming. We're filming.
I see the shot.
Oh.
Shot line, eye line.
Yeah, just if you could just stay back there. All right, so are we gonna be able to cut that? Okay. Let me gather myself. I mean, what? Okay, cool. Okay, so we got the handlebars dialed in for Caroline, and she got a good fit. Seat looks pretty good. So let's give you a quick tutorial.
Okay.
Now, if we push the power button, this is your power button.
Sweet.
Now, this is a good important thing to know. Got to flip the battery on back here. So there's actually a switch on the battery. We'll put that on, and then that will engage the screen. And also with your polarized lenses, it's going to be hard to see the screen. So this is your pedal assist. So you've got 3 modes on this bike. 1, you ride it like a normal bike. So this switch here determines the speed of which, or the power output of your motor when you're pedaling. It's called pedal assist.
Okay.
We can put that in 0. You can ride this like a normal bike. You can put it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In 5, you're going to be able to hit max speeds of almost 28. So that's very aggressive. So to start, we'd have you in 1, but we're going to start you in 0.
Okay.
Then this also can dictate this throttle. So you can not pedal at all and just hit the throttle
wow.
and let that do all the work. So I want you to just ride it like a normal. Let me do your, can you hop off really quick? I'm going to do you a favor. So it's in 7 speed. Just because Caroline's never ridden an e-bike, I'm going to go ahead and put the gears of the bike into a lower speed, so when she gets on, it's easier to pedal. Okay. And all of our e-bikes currently come with 7 speeds, so when you ride it like a normal bike, you have a good range of gears. So go ahead and hop on. And then just go ride it like a normal bike.
Okay.
And then once you're comfortable, you can try to engage the throttle. Actually, you're gonna have to push the button up to put it in 1.
Oh.
First, so keep going, keep pedaling, go straight. Okay, now turn around. And hit the throttle with your thumb. And there it is, folks. The happiness reaction on the first time you experience the motor. Fun.
I love it.
So cool, right?
That's so cool. So cool.
Cool. So there you have it, another first-time rider. When we gathered everyone today to actually do the fitting, we didn't know who has or hasn't ridden an e-bike for the first time, but cool to see the first-time reactions. Glad you like it. So Caroline's 5'1", 28-inch inseam, 20-inch arms. She was a fit on every e-bike we have except the Body Ease. Let's move up to our next rider.
All right, now we're here with Elizabeth. She is 5'2". She has a 26-inch inseam and what was your arm length?
18.
18-inch arm. So let's see how she fares on our bikes.
All right, let's walk you over to the Every Journey. So our first bike, the Every Journey, this is available in a 250 or 500 watt. So go ahead, when you mount it, just step your leg through and then try to slide your butt back onto the seat. So just step over first. There you go.
Ah, pay attention.
Now slide back.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So that looks like a definite fit for Elizabeth. We actually probably need to raise the seat up a little bit to get her really comfortable, but definitely we can make that work and dial it into your body. So Every Journey's a go. Let's move on to the Every Journey. So this is the Every Journey with the battery on the rear rack, 500 watt. This
So
is
one
the
thing I
internal
find
250
helpful
watt.
is gripping the brakes when you mount. Yeah, just so
Oh,
the bike
okay.
doesn't move, and then, right, just stand in front and then slide.
Now Elizabeth's never ridden an e-bike, and it's been several years, we would say, since you've ridden the bike.
Since I was, what, Yeah, just a few years ago, in my younger days.
But this is the same frame as the last bike, so this is a fit for her as well.
Yeah, this is good.
We can just dial it into her body, but that'll work for her. Let's
Cool.
move on to the Trike.
This one might be a little harder to mount, but you don't have to worry about balancing.
Let me
Okay.
just check the seat here. Okay, go ahead.
I love you have this eye, like, I would have never noticed that. Ooh, it's a little higher.
Okay, so she can still get her foot on the ground, but the Trike is a little bit higher off the ground than the regular Every Journey, but it's still going to work for her. You can put your feet on the pedals. You don't have to worry about balancing. That's the beauty of the Trike and the 3 wheels.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
My favorite color.
All right, go ahead and hop off. All right. So this is the Every Journey fat tire. Now with the fat tires, you're going to be off the ground a little more. So go ahead, just step through. And again, just once you get over the frame.
Oh, wow.
So actually, it's still a fit for her. It's a much bigger bike. So I'd probably advise against this bike for someone that's never ridden an e-bike or it's been many years. Just because with the fat tire, the handling of it can be more tricky and it's a heavier bike. But she fits from a actual sizing perspective.
But I look cool, right? That's what's important.
The coolest. All right, go ahead and size her on the around the block.
All right, this is the around the block. I think you'll fit this one. So same thing, you can grip the handbrakes.
And the around the block's like our traditional cruiser frame.
Yeah, it's a little,
Comes in 500 watt, 250 watt. So that's definitely a fit.
Let's see your foot on the ground.
It's a little.
Yeah, we can lower it. I think the seat is not completely down, but maybe a little lower would be a little more
No, I think, well, she
comfortable.
needs to lean. Can you get upright? Now put both your feet on the ground. Oh, so barely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so a little lower might be a little more comfortable.
And what
but
was
I
your
think you
inseam?
would-
26.
Okay. So that's important to actually think about. She's 5'1" with a 26-inch inseam. Oh, 5'2". 5'2", sorry.
Take away my inches.
With a 26-inch inseam. And our rider, actually, I think that was 5 foot, had a 27-inch inseam.
Yeah.
So the inseams do play a lot in this whole sizing game.
All right.
So I'm going to say for the around the block,
This one will be easier to
Yeah.
might be a no for Elizabeth, actually, but we can
Sorry,
try.
around the block.
So this one, so it's not going to fit her. I don't want you to hurt yourself.
Okay.
I can tell with her inseam and the suspension seat post, it's up really high. Okay, so we're back with Elizabeth. She's going to get right on it. So this is the ride in the park. Comes in 500 watt. Now see how that's a fit for you. Can you get your feet down? Okay, so
I have small feet, so that might be.
yeah, so again, she's 5'2". Our 5'1" rider, it fit, but she's got a shorter inseam, 26 inches, right? So I would say for Elizabeth, for safety, because on e-bikes, you want to be as safe as possible. I'm going to say not a fit on the ride in the park, but keep in mind our 5'1" rider with a 28-inch inseam, this fit. So pay attention to your inseam, especially when you're in the height ranges of 5'3" to 4'11". It's less about height and more about inseam. Last bike is Reach Your Destination, available 500 watt. Now this has a little bit higher of a top tube. Are you comfortable getting your leg over that?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. She's over. Now that's something that comes into play as well. Now go ahead and see if your feet balance.
No, not comfortable.
Okay, so that's not a fit for her on the Reach Your Destination. Now again, it really is the 26-inch inseam for her. The height is not getting her where she needs to be.
All right.
And it's all about fitting to what's comfortable in your body and right for you. So for Elizabeth, Every Journey, external battery worked, the 500 watt, the internal battery, the Tricycle worked. And that was it, because the around the block, in my opinion, was actually not safe enough for her. So of the first 3, is there one you'd like to try to test ride?
You know what? I'll do the try one.
Tricycle?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Fun.
The Tricycle is a ton of fun because you don't have to worry about the balance, super easy to ride. All right, I'll go ahead and wheel it up here for you. Is our helmet ready to go?
Cool.
For everyone at home too, we are disinfecting the helmet between riders. So go ahead and get your helmet on to be safe.
Look at that, my favorite color all around.
Navy, blue? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So navy's actually, this is our best-selling color. Okay. So I want you to, the way this works, now this is her first time on an e-bike and hasn't been on a bike in a long time. I'll walk her through it. So this 0 right here is how much assistance the motor is going to give you.
Okay.
When it's in 0, you're riding this like a normal bike. We've got it into gear 2. Now, these also come with 7 speeds like a normal bike, but they're not correlated to the motor. When you hit this into 1, it's going to give you, that's 1 level of assistance. You can go all the way up to 5.
Okay.
At level 5 on the Trike, you can hit 16 miles an hour with the throttle. Now, this is your throttle. Now, if you want to step back, I'll show you. If you hit this, the bike's going to go, okay? So what I'd like you to do first is just get on the bike and ride it without any assistance. Just take a lap around and make sure when you come in, your brakes are up here. So when you're doing your turn, just ease into the turns. Go nice and slow. What's that? I think they're good.
Okay. It was just that turn.
Slow down into the turn, slow down into the turn. Okay, so this is a prime example right here on why you want the motor. Okay,
Yeah.
now
It's all turn there.
I want to get you going straight.
Okay.
So can you turn around this way?
Yeah. Wait, let me not. There's no reverse, huh?
No, here, I'll help you out. Just go like this.
I don't want to hit the camera.
Okay, we're turning her around. Okay. So stop right here. Okay, now make sure if you're gonna turn, don't pedal. Don't pedal into the turns on a Trike.
Okay.
Don't use any assistance or any throttle into the turn.
Okay.
It's important on a Trike because of the balance.
Okay.
So, now have you ever ridden a tricycle before?
Probably when I was a kid.
Okay, so she's never even ridden a tricycle. So first time on a Trike, we're gonna show you how easy it is. Okay. I'm just gonna put you into level 2. Now what I want you to do, just go ahead, let off the brake, and push that throttle with your thumb. Just easy, don't go too fast, just get comfortable. Oh gosh. Well, she's doing it successfully. So let me go ahead and see if she needs some help getting back. Okay, there we have it. Elizabeth did it. Fun?
Yeah,
Little
very
scary?
fun. No, it was fun. It was definitely fun.
So first time ever for her on an e-bike and even a tricycle. So I think once you get a little more used to it, you know,
Yeah, for sure.
get the hang of it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
that
but
was fun.
so Elizabeth, 5'2", 26-inch inseam was a fit on the Every Journeys and the Tricycle. Remember, pay attention to the inseam because her inseam was 26 inches. She didn't fit a lot of the other bikes. Let's move up to our next rider. Okay, now we're here with Kayla. She's 5'3", 30-inch inseam and 20-inch arms. Did I get that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so we are gonna take her through all the bikes and see which one is a fit. So let's meander over here to the Every Journey. And let's, do you wanna start adjusting some seats?
This is the one that's really tight.
Okay. Okay, go ahead and hop on there. Now I can tell you for certainty she's gonna be a fit on most bikes, but go ahead and slide back. So it's a little high, right? Yeah, let me lower the seat down. Now, obviously it's fully adjustable. Go ahead and pull your leg off. All right. Okay, try that. This should be a little bit better.
Yeah.
Perfect. Now she's up on the tippy toes of her feet. We can lower the seat even more. So we can lower the seat when we're gonna have her go through and fit, and then you can choose which bike you want to test ride.
Okay.
And we'll go from there. So this is The Every Journey 500 watt with the battery on the rear, our traditional forward pedaling design Every Journey, and she's an absolute fit on that one. So let's go ahead and adjust this one. Okay, go ahead. So the difference between these two is the battery is mounted internally on this one. This is a 250 watt. This one has the battery external on the rear rack, available in 500 watt and 250. Go ahead and slide back onto the seat. Or is it too high?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Let's just lower it down a little bit for you. Okay, go ahead. Now this is what's really interesting is Kayla still has a 30-inch inseam,
Yeah.
but she actually has the seat lower than some of the women shorter than her with shorter inseams. So the sizing can really vary, and I do think shoes play into it as well. But this will give you general basis. So that's fit for you perfect. Okay, let's hop onto the Trike. Just go ahead and sit on it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, so she can get her foot down on the ground, so that's a definite fit. And obviously with the Tricycle, the wheels, you don't need to balance. The wheels are gonna, 3 wheels is gonna balance for you. So
Get both feet up and see how that feels.
yeah. How's that feel
good
for you?
luck.
Good?
It's
Yeah? Cool. So moving on to the fat tire Every Journey, it still has the forward pedaling design, but with the bigger tires, the bike's lifted up a little bit more. So go ahead and try this. It's a little bit more bike, so I'm not sure if she'll fit. Oh, she fits just fine. Perfect. So again, it's a little bit higher, so for some of the shorter women, it didn't fit as well, but for Kayla, it works okay. And we can lower the handlebars if she wants to test ride. We will get into the more specific sizing. Now let's get the around the block. Okay, now moving on to our around the block. This is a 500 watt and 250 watt, our traditional cruiser e-bike. Perfect fit. And again, just sit back into the seat a little more. There you go. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so she's a fit on that one. Let's keep moving down the line. And this is the Body Ease. Now this one has the suspension seat post like you've seen before. So this one I'm guessing, just step over and see if you can slide back onto the seat, but I'm guessing it's gonna be a little bit too big, a little too tall. So at 5'3", 30-inch inseam, not a fit for Kayla. Again, the suspension seat post, you gotta be a little bit taller. We'll see later if it works for our 5'4" rider. So let's keep moving. Okay, our ride in the park. I have a good feeling about this one for her. Step through frame, 500 watt. It's a definite fit. That one looks pretty good too for you, pretty comfortable. And let's move on to our last one, reach your destination.
This one has the higher top step.
That one's a good fit.
Good, yeah.
Okay, so of all the ones you sat on and felt, which one would you want to try to test drive?
The fat tire.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go for it.
I love the fat tire.
Okay, so Kayla's all ready. She's got her helmet on, and she's gonna do the fat tire. So go ahead and hop on. And okay, so first time for Kayla on a bike, and first time riding in at least 5 years, she said. So we've got you in pedal assist too. So why don't can you get the bike spun around this way so you can, going towards the straightaway. And then let's get your kickstand up. Okay, so when you get going and you start pedaling, you're gonna feel that thrust of the motor. So go ahead. Well, hopefully she comes back to us. Now try doing the throttle. How's that? It's fun?
It was a lot of fun.
Cool. How do you like the back? Like, was it easy to control? And
It was really easy to control.
cool. All right, so there you have it. Kayla's a fit. She tried the fat tire Every Journey e-bike and she likes it at 5'3", 30-inch inseam, 20-inch arms. Let's move up to our 5'4" rider. Okay, now we're here with Amber. Amber's 5'4". She has a 31-inch inseam and a 22-inch arm length. So let's take her through all the bikes. Amber may be the first one to fit on some of the, like the body ease, but we'll see. Okay, so I'm pretty confident Amber's gonna fit on the Every Journey, but go ahead and just sit on there. So that's definitely gonna work for her. We could make some minor adjustments. I would raise the seat a little. We'll see how she does on that one, but that definitely, I think, looks good and would work for her. So that's our Every Journey external battery, 500 watt step through frame. Let's move on to the internal. Same frames between these two. So the seat's way too low on that one. Hop off for a second. I'll just raise it up to show everyone. So it's as simple as just the quick release. Okay, go ahead and try that. Perfect, much better. So feet still flat on the ground. She'll get ample leg extension and her back's totally upright. That one's a good fit. Let's move on to the Tricycle. And as you're trying them, feel what maybe you'd like to try out that you like.
Okay.
So she's got her feet down now. She's one of the first ones to actually get her feet comfortably on the ground on the Trike. And so that looks great on her and would be an easy for her to ride. Let's move on to the fat tire. And let me actually step off one more time. I'm gonna raise the seat up. So we're finally getting to the point now with our heights where actually raising the seat's gonna be beneficial. Go ahead and try that. Yeah, perfect. And you can tilt the bike upright. There you go. So you can see she's a little bit, I've got the seat a little bit high. It would be in her comfort range. We could lower it down, but that'll definitely work for her. Okay, let's raise the seat up on this one. Okay, go ahead and try. Perfect. So she's on a normal bike, except for the Every Journey, you do want to be on the balls of your feet. So that's good standard sizing for an e-bike. We could probably tilt the handlebars up a little bit, but around the block's a good fit. Let's move on down the line to the body ease. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so she's our first rider that fits. Now you can see she is on her tippy toes a little bit, so this would really be up to Amber if she's comfortable or not. So she's 5'4", 31-inch inseam, and it fits. If it's not comfortable for her, though, I would advise against it. But it looks like you've got to be about 5'4" to fit on the body ease with the suspension seat post. Let's keep moving down the line. Let me raise the seat on this one a little bit. Okay, try that. Perfect. That one looks like a good fit for her. She's got her arms nice and straight out in front. That's perfect. Let's last
you'll
one.
have to raise this one too.
Okay, raise this one. So Amber is going to be our first rider, I think, to fit all bikes. Okay, go ahead and try. So I put it a little too high. We can drop the seat down though, but all in all, it looks good. So Amber, 5'4", 31-inch. She can ride all the 630 electric bikes. So which one do you want to choose?
That's fine.
All right, she's gonna do the ride in the park. Okay, we got Amber, helmet on, ready to ride. So Amber's an experienced e-bike rider. She actually owns her own e-bike, not a 630, but maybe we're gonna convince her while this is better. So she's one of our more, she's comfortable with it. Now, I don't know how your bike operates, but right here, do the power, and that's your pedal assist. So you can go off and running, use the throttle, and if you want to adjust up and down as you go, feel free. You can add or subtract the pedal assist or the power.
Okay.
Take it away. Let's see if we can convert her to the comfort riding position of a 630.
incredible.
How is it?
Fun. That is smooth. And the seat is so cozy.
A little bit different riding position, I think, than your bike.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
Cool. All right, so Amber likes it, and she's a fit at 5'4" on the ride in the park, and all of the other 630 electric bikes. So let's move up to our 5'5" rider. Okay, we're here with Michelle now. Michelle's 5'5". Now, before today, Michelle had never ridden an e-bike and hadn't ridden a bike in 10 years. She's gotten herself a little bit comfortable. So, but you're still going to see her test ride like for her third time ever, fourth time ever, and so that'll be exciting. Okay, so let's take her over here, and we're inseam and your arm length?
Inseam is 30, arm length is 22.
Okay, so inseam 30, arm length 22. So if you want to go ahead and hop on,
Right.
we'll check your fit. Cool.
This is nice. Yeah.
So we could raise the seat a little bit for her if she wants to test ride. We'll dial it into her, but it'll definitely be a fit. Actually, hop off and I will adjust the seat just so we can show everyone how easily. So let's raise it up a little bit.
Oh, that's so easy.
Right about there. Okay, try that.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Much better. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So that's a fit on the Every Journey. Now these are the same frames. That's again the 500 watt rear battery internal. Try this one. It's going to be very similar.
Oh, yeah.
That one looks good too.
Solid.
Perfect. Moving right along to the Trike. My guess is that she fits.
Solid fit.
Yep. Looks good.
Yeah.
Now we could raise the handlebars maybe or tilt them down for her a little bit, but all in all, she'll definitely fit on that one. Moving on down the line. Now the Every Journeys again share the same frames. This is just the fat tire, so go ahead and hop on. The bike's a little bit higher, so
Oh, yeah. But not too bad.
which actually, yeah, we could lower the seat a little bit, but she's, we could lower, get her a little bit closer to the ground, but if it's comfortable for her, we could leave it there when she's riding. But definitely works, so let's keep moving. And are around the block. Perfect, yeah. That's a good fit for her. Again, I would tilt the handlebars up a little bit, which is easy, and we'll dial in the one for her, but that would work for her too. Now here's the one that's been our most non-fitting model so far. Least fitting. And actually still a little bit tall, even for Michelle. She's really on her tippy toes, and the suspension seat post is higher. Now, this is interesting because our 5'4" rider had a 31-inch inseam, and she fit. Michelle has a 30-inch inseam, and it's a little bit taller. So as an electric bike, I would advise against this for Michelle just for safety. But, it's up to her, but that's my professional opinion.
Yep.
Let's keep moving down.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's a perfect fit. Now, we have the seat actually left at the same height as the 5'4" rider, 30-inch, and you can see Michelle's just a little bit higher than the previous rider. Taller, but shorter inseam. So really does affect, but this is definitely a fit for her. And our last one, reach your destination. Same thing, it's a perfect fit. We could lower the seat down a little bit. So if testing all the bikes, sitting on them and feeling them. Now, Michelle can pick any bike except the Body Ease because that's not a fit. Which one do you want to test drive?
Definitely that yellow one.
All right, cool. So we're going to do the yellow Every Journey. We'll get her set up and she'll go for a test ride. Okay, Michelle's all mounted up and ready to ride. So she's got a little bit of experience. So did you use the throttle at all when you were on the other ones?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So just so you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can adjust it as you see fit. So if you want to play with the speeds while you're going, give it a shot. When you get up to 3, 4, 5, it's going to really cruise. So go for it. If you've never ridden an e-bike before, I'm telling you, it is a very, very fun first experience. And the cool thing is you're getting to see a lot of the first-hand natural reactions today. So here she comes. Look at her ergonomic upright riding position, and watch when she stops how easily she'll get her feet on the ground.
Ah, it's so much fun!
Cool. How'd you like it?
I loved it.
How's the comfort? Good?
Comfort, really comfortable in the seat, very comfortable in the hands, and just really easy to use. It's
Cool.
really easy to use.
Cool. So Michelle was a fit on everything but the body ease. She really likes the every journey. Let's see what our 5'6" rider has to say.
All right, we're here with Abigail now. She's 5'6". What's your inseam?
30 inches.
30-inch inseam, and arm length
21
is
inches.
21 inches. So let's see how she fits on the different models.
So 30-inch inseam?
30.
So we've now gone from our 5'4", 5'5", 5'6". Our 5'4" rider had 31-inch, and our 5'5" had 30-inch. Now Abigail has 30-inch. So let's just see if the height increase matters.
All right, it looks like a pretty good fit. I think we could even raise the seat a little bit on this one.
Yeah, let's raise the seat a little bit just to show them how we can get the fit going. Okay, go ahead and try that. Yeah, it's a lot better for you.
Yeah, looks
Cool.
good. All right.
All right, so she's a definite fit on the Every Journey, and this is the Every Journey internal.
Same frame style, a little different, has the battery inside, so let's see. Same thing, we could raise the seat a little on this one too. If you tilt the bike up,
That feels.
yeah, that looks like a good fit actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a definite fit.
All right, move on to the Trike. So, yeah, you can go ahead and put your feet up on the pedals. I think with this one we could raise the seat a little more. You don't have to.
Yeah, let's show them. Let's
Yeah.
raise the seats so you're not so cramped.
We've said it every time, but you don't have to necessarily have your feet touching the ground with the Trike.
Go ahead and try that and see. We just want to make sure she's going to get proper leg extension, because even though they're e-bikes, so now you're a little too high. Let me go ahead and lower it down a little bit. And the beauty of the quick release is you can really just play around with it very easily until you figure it out. Still too high, huh?
No, I think that looks. How does that feel?
That feels pretty good.
Okay,
there.
cool.
Yeah.
So there you have it. It's a fit on the Trike. Let's keep moving.
Now the fat tire, same frame, thicker tire, so a little higher, and I would lower the seat a little bit, but otherwise a fit.
Yeah, we could just lower that a little bit to get her off her tippy toes, but that'll definitely work for her.
Okay, next the around the block. And seat height looks good. Like with the last rider, Michelle, I think we would have to adjust the handlebars. But otherwise a good fit.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just making sure it doesn't.
Okay, the body ease. How does that feel to you?
A little high, especially with the handles kind of. I'm more forward on this one. Are you supposed to be more forward?
Right. Yeah, the riding position's a little different, and this has the
These are so.
the taller seat post. So
Yeah, it has a suspension seat post. So even Abigail at 5'6", right? It's still a little tall. She has a 30th inch seam, which was the same as the last rider. So again, for an electric bike, I would say for you, opt against it. So it looks like for the body ease, you really need to be about a 31-inch, 32-inch inseam for this bike to work with you with a suspension seat post.
So different with the.
Yeah, it's a little more
Yeah, the
sport
narrow
setup. So this is really a
handlebars.
combo comfort sport type position.
all right, this is the ride in the park, and
So
yeah, it's a little high. We could lower it, and I think it would be a perfect fit.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Last
let me just
one.
lower the seat a little, just
Okay.
because we kind of know. Okay, go ahead and give that a shot. Yep, perfect. Good
Yeah,
fit.
Looks good.
So of all the bikes now you've tested and sat on, which one do you want to give a try?
I'm already here.
Cool. Okay, so
Let's try this one.
Abigail will do the reach your destination. We'll get her suited and mounted up with the helmet, and we'll take her on a test ride. Okay, so Abigail's all mounted up and ready to go. She did do a little bit riding before we took this video, but before that, had you ever ridden an electric bike? Oh, you stopped and rode one before getting here though, right? Or no?
Today's my first day on an electric bike.
Period. And before that, when's the last time you rode a regular bike?
Maybe a month or two ago.
Okay, cool. So she's first day only. She's already getting comfortable. Go ahead and show us how you ride it.
All right.
So she just kicked off with the throttle right there. You can see it's super easy. And yeah, she's opting for the non-pedaling, which is completely fine. It's a nice bonus feature. And she's coming back and she's smiling, which means success. And she's stopping. How was it?
Have to, right?
Yeah.
Super fun. I love using the throttle to start off. It makes it so easy.
Totally. Cool. All right, well, Abigail is a fit on everything except the body ease. It looks like the body ease is 31-inch inseam and up, but she loved to reach her destination. So let's move up to our 5'7" rider. Okay, now we're here with Kiana, who's 5'7".
Yeah.
She has a 32-inch inseam and 22-inch arms?
Yep.
Okay. We're going to take her through all the bikes, and then when we get done, I want you to pick one bike to test ride. Don't tell me now. After you fit and size them, then you can tell us which one you'd
start
most
here.
like to test ride. And so
I
we're...
already know what I want to test on.
Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and have a seat, see if how that fits.
Yeah.
So a little tall,
It's
actually.
a little tall. I'm on my tippy toes.
Okay, hop off. I'm going to adjust the seat down. I'm going to try to see if I can get these all set up for you. Okay, try that again.
That was easy. A little better. The seat feels like it's
Still too high.
a little bit.
Let me see. Let me lower the seat for you. Yeah, it might be angled. Okay. Just try that height-wise. Let's see your feet.
Much better.
Okay, cool. Okay, perfect. So that works on the every journey. Let's see if I can get this one in. So go ahead and hop off.
Oh, hop on.
Test them all out first, and then, or size them all first.
So same frame every journey should be a fit. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, moving on down the line.
Tricycle.
This one.
So
Now with the trike, obviously, you can be up on your tippy toes. You don't have to balance
Right.
because of the 3
you
wheels.
can put your feet on the pedals. So how does that feel?
That's good.
All right, moving on down.
Fat tire. This one's a little taller, same every journey frame. So why don't you put your feet down and then we'll just put the bike upright. See how that fits? Oh yeah, I think we'd have to lower the seat a little.
Okay, let's try to lower it, just get it sized right. There we go. Okay, try that.
Much better.
All
Yeah,
right,
that looks
perfect. That's
better.
good.
All right,
All right.
next we have the around the block. Do you want to adjust the handlebars? With every rider we've said we could tilt them up.
Yeah, for the test ride, go ahead and tilt the bike up. So that looks pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
All right. So Kiana's got a 1-inch inseam, taller, actually 2 inches than our last rider, and 1 inch from the 5'4" rider. So it's really the inseam plays a
This
big
is
role.
the tallest. How
Oh,
does
is
this one feel?
It feels good.
So Kiana actually looks like a good fit on this at 5'7". She's up on the pads of her feet, which is okay, but she's one of the riders that works well. So again, we said 31-inch inseam and up for the body ease, so that works for her.
This is the ride in the park. Looks like a
it's
good fit.
Cozy. I like that.
All right, perfect fit for her on that one on the ride in the park. Let's keep moving. And last but not least, to reach your destination. So a little bit tall, but we can lower the seat down. Let's just try to lower it for you a little bit. Okay, try that. Perfect. Okay, so you fit on every 630 electric bike, 5'7", 32-inch inseam. After trying all of them, which one do you want to test drive?
The tricycle.
Tricycle.
The
All right, the Trike.
Tricycle.
Kiana, have you ever ridden a tricycle before?
Never.
And then before today, when's the last time you rode a normal bike?
About 6 months ago.
6 months? And then had you ever ridden an electric bike?
Never.
Okay, so she never rode an electric bike, but she's been riding around a little bit here, but she's never been on a trike, never been on an electric trike. So let me give you a quick tutorial. So powered on here, and then you've got your assistance level. Just like all of our other e-bikes, you can either do it as a normal bike, so just pedal without the motor, or you can do the assistance where it'll kick in the assistance when you pedal, or you can do the full throttle. Now the tricycle, make sure keep the wheel straight. You're gonna have a little bit of a slope down there, so just try to lean to the left a little bit, and when you come into turns, don't accelerate into the turn, lean into the turn, but come off the accelerator. Once you're coming out of the turn, you can go. So you're off and running, and I will stay with you just to make sure everything goes safe. So turn it this way.
This one is a little challenging.
There you go. Yep, you got to really keep the wheel straight.
Oh, I see.
There you go.
A little bit of a
Try hitting the
challenge.
throttle.
Okay.
Just a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Does that make it a little easier?
It does. I think because I'm used to wanting to turn the wheel the other way. But yeah, it's good.
Now lean to your left as you turn. There you go. Oh, brake, brake. There you go.
It takes a lot getting used to, but I think you'll catch it in time.
For safety reasons, I'm gonna stay with her. There you go, though. Now you're on flat ground. You can be, just keep it straight. There you go.
This was cool.
All right, so first time ever, do you think if you kept riding, you'd keep getting more and more the hang of it?
I would.
Yeah. So tricycles are definitely a different experience from a standard two-wheel bike. First time ever today on an electric bike, period, and even on a tricycle. So great job. And with 10 more minutes, we'd have her cruising around town, I guarantee it. So Kiana, 5'7", 32-inch inseam. She's a fit on everything, including the trike. Let's move up to our next rider.
We're here with Abby. Abby's 5'8". She has a, what's your inseam?
32.
32-inch inseam and arm length of
22.
22. So let's see how she fits on the bikes. Starting with the Every Journey electric, 500 watt. Looks good. I think we could raise the seat.
Yeah, let's try to raise it up a little bit for you. It truly is amazing to see the variance in the sizing
The
between.
human body.
Well, it really is, and it's interesting because, like, while the inseam matters, there's also just variables that play
Yeah.
into the fitting.
Even higher. We could go even higher, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Every Journey, so on the Every Journey, we try to have flat foot, so I mean, that looks pretty good, and we could adjust from there, you know? So let's move on to the next one. And I'm just gonna try to pre-adjust. If you wanna stay with her, and I'll try to pre-adjust
Okay.
a lot of these seats.
All right. So Every Journey internal, same frame. but the battery is inside the frame. So yeah, it looks about the same. Tilt it up or evenly, the bike. Yeah, looks like a good fit. How does it feel?
It feels good.
All right, so let's check out the Trike. This one, it doesn't matter so much if your toes reach the ground. You can put your feet on the pedals. And it looks like she'll get pretty good leg extension at this height. All right, next we have the Fat Tire. So again, same frame, but a little taller because the tires are thicker. So you can tilt it up. Yeah, and that looks like a good fit.
You can tell I've done this before.
Yeah, he has an eye for this. All right, next we have the Around the Block.
It's just so easy with the quick release to do the adjustments on the fly. You can really...
And same thing. On the pads of your feet, you'd get great leg extension at this height, I think. Looks like a good fit. All right. Have we adjusted this seat at all?
I left it down. Let's just see how it plays out.
Okay, so this is the body ease. We've yet to adjust this seat.
Oh, I think we can raise it up a little bit. So go ahead and
Yeah.
hop off.
You're the first person
Woohoo.
we've had to raise the seat for.
There you go. Cool.
And yeah, that looks like a
That's
good
actually
fit.
a really great fit for her too.
Yeah.
So really women, like we said, 32-inch and above inseam, and I think really 5'5" and above is the ideal for the body ease.
Okay.
All right, moving on down.
Now we have the Ride in the Park. And again, looks like a good fit. You can tilt it up. Yeah, pretty good. And lastly, the Reach Your Destination. So watch out, this is a higher top tube.
Oh, we can go higher.
Yeah, I was
Let me
gonna
pop it up
say.
a little bit. Whoa. Now there are maximum heights on the seat posts. We haven't hit it yet, obviously, but that might be a little too high. We'll see. No?
Maybe a little high. A
Yeah.
touch.
Just a touch, but I mean,
Yeah.
here. I'll bring it down just a little for you. Okay, there you go. Give it a shot. Perfect.
Yeah. So all of our bikes fit. Which one do you want to test ride?
I'll do the past 700 there that you had to raise the seat.
Okay.
The cream one?
The body ease.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's do it. Our first
So,
rider
yeah,
today.
The first person to test out the body ease.
So just to clarify, never ridden an e-bike before. When's the last time you rode a regular bike?
A couple months ago.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Ready?
Have fun. Do we
She's
see?
a natural.
She is. Is she smiling? I think she likes it. Did you try the throttle? So you can actually, did you try this too, where you push that and it'll just go automatically?
Oh, I didn't try that.
Go ahead, give it a shot. Don't pedal at all and hit the throttle with your thumb. Life-changing right there, folks. Life-changing. So it's cool. We've had a lot of never ridden an e-bike before today. And you can look us up on Ancestry or search our names. I have zero connection to anyone here. I don't know anyone. They're telling the truth. All first-time riders live on camera. Recorded for you, live for us. How'd you like that?
That was good.
Cool, huh?
That was good.
Yeah.
Cool. We were saying you look like a natural. So that's Abby, 5'8", 32-inch inseam, 22-inch arms, and a great fit for all of our e-bike models. Thanks, Abby.
Thank you.
So let's move up to our 5'9" rider.
Okay, we're here with Dana. Dana is 5'9". You have a 32-inch inseam. And what was your arm length?
23 inches.
23-inch arms. So let's see how Dana fits on each bike model. So starting with the Every Journey Electric.
What was Dana's inseam?
32 inches.
Okay, so it's going to be very similar to our last rider. So go ahead and give it a try. Just sit on there. You can leave the kickstand down.
okay.
Yeah. So I think we need to raise that up a little bit, actually. Hop off for 1 second. I'll just raise it up a little bit. And then I'm going to try to pre-adjust a lot of these for you. Go ahead and try that. Perfect.
So let's see your toes on the ground, both, and then tilt the bike up. Yeah, that seems like a good fit. If you had to stop abruptly, you could pop your feet onto the floor. So let's move on to the next bike. Also an Every Journey internal. And good, pretty much the same fit.
Yeah.
So great fit for both. Now the Trike.
Did this before.
And you can put your feet on the pedals for this one. Looks like you would get good leg extension. Yeah,
Yep.
it's a fit. I think you'll fit all of
Yeah.
them. This is the fat tire.
I love this fat tire.
All right. Can you tilt it up? Let's see how your feet are on the ground. Yeah, so also a good fit. All of Justin's adjustments have been perfect so far.
Yeah.
Now the around the block. Yeah,
Perfect.
pretty good. Okay, now the body ease. Okay.
That's
Looks
a great
good.
fit, yeah.
You can really feel that suspension there.
Yeah, definitely on the bodies. That adds a little bit of absorption for it.
Love that.
Now the ride in the park. And also looks like a good fit.
This beautiful color. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. So you can see between our 5'8" rider and 5'9" rider, just a slight increase. Even though the inseams were the same,
Yeah.
it's not an exact science, so I popped the seat up just a little bit.
Yeah.
32 is the magic number to fit every bike.
Yeah.
So this is to reach your destination. Watch out the top tube's a little higher. But same, good fit.
Yeah.
So which one do you want to test ride?
The one with the fat tire.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's give it a try. Okay, so Dana's very comfortable on bikes, but today's been the first day she's rode an electric bike. Actually, she rode the electric Tricycle earlier, but hasn't ridden one of our two-wheeled electric bikes. Yeah, you gotta kick it back. There we go. So I've just got you in pedal assist level 1. We'll go ahead and kick you up to 2. When you start pedaling, it's gonna kick in, and
This is the brake system.
yeah, the rear brake's gonna be your best brake to use more of.
Okay.
And
The right handle.
yep. And yeah, if you want to try the throttle as well, you can do that on your thumb. Yep. So go ahead and give it a try.
Here we go.
Now the fat tire bike does ride a little bit differently than a standard bike because of the big tires. It tends to pull a little bit, and you have to get comfortable with how the tire actually contacts the pavement. It's definitely different than a standard bike, and I can see Dana's fighting it a little bit, and she's really just got to get comfortable with the feel of it because it definitely pulls a little bit differently. So she's doing the throttle now, which is great. All in all, though, when you get comfortable with that style, it's comfortable. A little bit different, huh?
Yeah.
You like it though? Fun?
I do. I almost feel like I'm driving a motorcycle.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy on this one.
It's really fun.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So Dana's a fit at 5'9" on all of our bikes with the 32-inch inseam, the magic number. Let's go up to our next rider. Hey guys, we're here with Meredith. Meredith's 5'10", 33-inch inseam, and
24.
24-inch arms. Let's get her fitted and see how she fits on all these bikes, so come with us. Now, our tallest inseam yet, which you'd think makes sense for the height, but the inseams are all across the map. So why don't you go have a seat, you'll see how our 5'9" rider adjustment works. And it looks pretty good. Yeah, our last rider at 5'9". There's so many variables other than inseam, but Meredith's definitely a fit. So let's move on to the next Every Journey frame. These are all going to be about the same. And if she's about the same fit as the last rider, we can leave most of them. That one looks good as well.
Yeah.
Super comfortable. Let's move down to the Trike. Now we could probably raise the seat up for her a little bit. She's a little bit cramped, and she may not touch the ground, but on the Tricycle, you actually don't have to touch the ground because you can balance and you can mount and dismount. So we can make that work for her. So if you want to hop off, come over to the fat tire. Looks good. Feels comfortable. All right, moving along. It really helps when the riders are all in the same wheelhouse of inseam and height. Looks good as well. Now the handlebars look a little bit tilted down. If she chooses to test ride this one, I'll just tilt those up. It's a simple adjustment. All right, body ease. This has been our best bike for riders with 32-inch inseam and up, about 5'4" and up, 5'5" and up. And that one looks good for her too. I like that bike on the taller riders.
Yeah,
let's come
it's a
on to the
good
ride in
fit.
the park. That looks good as well. And I would raise the handlebars up for her a little bit again to try to bring her back and get her more ergonomic. We can do that. Simple adjustment you can do at home as well. And you can play with these adjustments. Nothing you're married to. It's just easy to do it on your own. And that one looks good too. She's up on her tippy toes. We could lower it just a little bit. Need to bring the handlebars up so she's not reaching quite so much. We don't want her to be totally hunched over, so we could fix that. So of all the bikes you sat on, which one do you think you want to test ride?
I think the yellow one.
The cream one?
Yeah.
Seems to be the favorite with the taller riders. Let's get her set up. Okay, so Meredith's all ready. She got her helmet on. Before today, have you ever ridden an e-bike?
No, I haven't.
Cool. So this is her first time. When's the last time you rode a regular bike?
Oh gosh, probably like a month ago.
A month. Okay, so she's experienced on a bike. She knows what she's doing, but she's never ridden an e-bike, never used a throttle. First time. We'll see her first reaction. So let me show you. It's going to hit the power button here. That's going to bring your screen on. And so you can adjust these up or down as you ride.
Okay.
So if you want more assistance from the motor, feel free to kick it. 5's your max.
Okay.
At level 5, you are going to go up to 28 miles an hour pedal assist and 20 in full throttle. And we're going to start you out at 2. And you can stop pedaling and use the throttle pedal. You can actually use the throttle to get going if you want as well.
I'll try that. Good to go?
Yep, good to go. I think she's having fun. Do we see a smile? All right, she's throttling. She likes it. Fun?
Yeah, it's so fun.
And she can see she's stopping easily. So, seems like, again, the 32-inch inseams and above are really liking the body ease, super comfortable. Meredith at 5'10", 33-inch inseam is a fit for every single bike, and particularly like the body ease. So let's move up to our 5'11" rider. All right, we're here with Jill now. 34-inch inseam, 24-inch arms, 5'11", our tallest inseam. So we're moving up as we move up in height and inseam, so it's all working the way we would want it to, but it doesn't always work that way, particularly in the shorter heights we experience. So our tallest inseam, let's see how Jill fits. Let me get some adjustments in here just to see. Nothing ever makes complete sense, but let's see how that works for you. Let me see you put your foot on the pedal. Let me try to raise it up just a little bit. So obviously Jill's got long legs with her 34-inch inseam. Now that's as high as the seat's gonna go safely. Go ahead and try that. So it's pretty good. Actually, we could tilt the seat back a little bit as well, tilt it back, which would bring her up a little bit. And then we could tilt the bars up also to make that a little more comfortable for her. How does that feel overall for you?
Yeah, it feels good.
Cool. So that's definitely a fit. Let's move on to the other Every Journey. Let me just bring all these now to their top height. Okay, give that a shot. Same thing, looks good. Good downwards, good. She'll get good extension on the down pedal. Moving on to the Tricycle. Okay, definitely a little cramped on that one. So let me raise the seat up for you. Okay. Now you may not be able to touch the ground, but let's look more at your leg extension. So that looks good. Yeah, so obviously you don't need to touch the ground with the Tricycle, but that looks good for her. She's gonna be able to ride that easily.
We
And
probably just bring the handlebars up a little bit.
Yeah, we'll bring the handlebars up to bring her shoulders back a little bit. All right, moving on down. Let me raise the seat up. Now I'll expect this one will be a pretty good fit for her. Yeah, that one's even better for her in the fat tire because of the bigger tires. The bike's a little more elevated, so I really like the way that fits her body as she gets taller. It's just a bigger bike, and I think it's more conducive to her arm length and leg length. Let me raise the seat for you on this one. Okay, now I'm bringing him to the max outline for her. Okay, oh, you know what, sorry.
I've never seen the seat this high around the block.
Now go ahead and lean the bike straight and put both feet on the ground. Yeah, actually that looks pretty good. So
Yeah.
and the handlebars are low, so I would tilt those up like this so she's not so far down. We can do that with an easy adjustment. But I think that's actually a pretty good fit. So yeah, she wants to be up on the balls of her feet. All right, now let me raise this just a little bit for you.
So far,
Go ahead and try
this
that.
has been the favorite among the taller riders.
Okay. Yeah. I think it's probably because the handlebars.
So
They're
it's
not as wide and
so it's a good fit for her. Let's keep on moving. We can definitely get the height, the seat height too on this one. We can get higher, which is great. I think this one will work well too. We probably would have to adjust the handlebars. Okay, try that.
That looks like a good fit too. Yeah.
Yeah, and we could tilt the bars up too, which would also help, and raise them up, which I think would relax her and bring her shoulders back. So that's an option. Now moving on to the Reach Your Destination. Oh, let me raise the seat one last time. I think this one's going to be a pretty good fit too. Okay, let's try that. Oh, we could raise it a little bit. The handlebars are definitely low. Let's try that. Okay, try that now. Let's see. Yeah, that's a little bit
Yeah.
better.
That looks good.
And we could get the handlebars up so she's not leaning quite as much forward, but this is a commuter style bike, so it's a little more aggressive of a riding position. So the big question of all the bikes, anything is on the table for you. Of all the ones you've sat on, which one do you want to test ride?
which one hasn't been ridden yet?
All of them have been ridden.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Whatever you felt like was best for your body.
Probably the yellow. The yellow right here.
The cream? All right, let's do it. Back to the bodies again for our taller riders. Do you own an e-bike?
No.
Okay. So are you familiar? Have you used a throttle before?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I do the bare minimum.
Okay. So let me show you a little bit. You've got controls here to do your pedal assist up and down, levels 1 through 5. That's how much power output when you're pedaling or when you hit the throttle.
Okay.
So I'll put you in level 2. You can go ahead and try to use the throttle to get going, see what it feels like. It's kind of fun. You can back it off and then just pedal. It's really up to you.
So use the throttle. This is the throttle.
Yeah, try it. Push it down just to get moving.
Okay.
And she's off her first time with the throttle. Let's see if we changed her life when she gets back. She's gone. Hopefully she comes back. There she is.
It's like a typical dad joke. Every time. Hopefully they come back.
How do you like it?
Feels good.
Comfortable?
It's smooth, yeah. Cool.
And the throttle was fun?
Yeah,
Cool.
that's great.
All right, so she's a fit, 34-inch inseam, 5'11". Let's move up to our 6-foot rider. All right, we're here with Jasmine now. She's 6 feet tall. She's got a 36-inch inseam and 25-inch arms. So interesting that now we're at our tallest or our highest inseam yet, and actually taller inseam than our 6'1" rider. So again, I think it goes in clumps, like 4'11" to 5'4". The inseams are all over the map, and then kind of in the same region, like 5'10" to 6'2". The inseams really vary, so it's more about inseam and those clumps of heights versus the actual height. So let's take Jasmine on the every journey. We've got it set up just about at the highest point, so let's see how that works for you. And I'm actually going to grab a tool here.
All right, that looks like a pretty good fit. You can tilt the bike up.
Tilt.
Yeah, your feet are almost flat on the ground, completely flat. So if you have to come to a quick stop, you can quickly
can
put your
stand pretty
feet
much,
down.
yeah.
Good
That's
fit.
comfortable.
So same frame style. This has the internal battery, but looks like a good fit as well. Even up here, the handlebars look pretty good. You're
Yeah.
not hunched over or anything.
Yeah.
All right,
It's a
another
nice
good
grip.
fit. So moving on to the Trike, you might have to hop up onto the seat, but you don't have to worry about balance with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think?
I think it looks good, yeah.
Yeah, it looks good.
We could always raise the seat a little, but I think it's good.
And I think the handlebars could go up a little more. Yeah, but other than that, good fit.
Yeah.
All right. Now the fat tire, I think you're gonna like this one.
This
It's a
one's one of
little
my favorite.
taller. I love it.
So cute, the big old giant tires. High up seat.
Yeah, so this one, you're like a little bit higher on your feet, but that's still okay.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
It feels good. Like I'm comfortable on the bike.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
like a good fit.
Yeah, and I like that because I'm so tall. Usually it's hard to find bikes with this type of height,
Right.
So I do like that for sure.
Yeah, it looks like the bike fits you.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the around the block. We'll see how this one fits. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I think the only adjustment I would make is maybe bringing the handlebars.
Yeah, because I feel like a little forward.
Yeah, so you
I
don't
would
have to lean.
I would say in general, I think it's looking like 5'11", 6 foot. This bike becomes a little too small.
The taller girls struggle a little bit with this one.
Just a little too small of a bike, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, generally
Yeah.
speaking. I think for her height, Jasmine's height, and inseam, there's better options.
Yeah.
Okay, let's test out the body ease.
So
So again, the body ease looks like a good fit.
Yeah, it does.
this one feels comfortable too. Even like the shape, like the way I'm sitting on it, it felt a lot different from that one.
Right, yeah, this bike feels a little taller, so it matches the taller riders.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right,
now
moving on.
the ride in the park.
Right. Let's see. This is very comfortable.
That looks pretty good too, actually.
Yeah, it
This is
does.
a very comfortable fit. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're pretty upright.
Yeah.
Looks good. Good fit.
All right, last but not least, let me get this seat straight. Just a couple hits to it. Oh, so that's a little high. Let me lower it down just a little bit.
I was kind of struggling.
We're also in sandals too, which are very flat. I bet you
Yeah.
have shoes on. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
So that was a pretty good fit too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, a lot of good fits. Only one that wouldn't be a good fit.
Yeah.
And I'm longer leg than torso.
Yeah.
So that kind of helps with the bikes. Yeah.
So of all the ones you sat on, which one would you want to test ride?
Oh man, I feel like I fit a good amount of them. I think my favorite one is the fat tire and the yellow. And that one felt really good. Yeah, I really like the one with the fat tires.
You want to try that one?
That one. Yeah.
All right, let's do it. So before today, had you ridden an e-bike before?
I've ridden a bike, but it's been ages.
Had you ridden an e-bike?
No, not an e-bike.
So did
Just
you?
E-scooters.
Okay, so did you
Yeah.
ride the e-bikes at all around before this?
I had a little bit of a e-bike experience when I first got here.
Okay.
Yeah.
But not too much.
Not too much, like 30 seconds.
Okay. Okay, so she only got 36 seconds, 30 seconds of e-bike riding experience. We're gonna give you a tutorial here. This is happening for her for the first time and for you at home. So, what you have here is your display. This is your pedal assist. So basically, the higher that is, the more assistance the motor gives you.
Yeah.
I'll start you out in level 2.
All right.
Then you've got your throttle. So basically, you can pedal and let the motor help you pedal, or you don't have to pedal at all and just hit the throttle.
Wow.
You can also just ride it as a normal bike if you want that off in 0.
Cool.
So
Okay, so when it's on 0, you're just on your own.
that's right.
Nice.
So go ahead and hop on.
I love it. Okay.
And if you can, pedal and ride it and feel the motor kick in. And when you come back, try to just do the throttle a little bit without pedaling.
Okay. Here we go. So you said try to ride first, and then.
Yeah, and this is your brake. So for the
Right.
rear, just be aware of that. Now keep pedaling. There you go. I think that we're finding out that the fat tire really is a good fit for, I would say, women 5'10" to 6'2". I mean, not to say that the fat tire every journey can't be for anyone, but it's a bigger bike. Any comments or thoughts on that, Alana?
I agree, but I love the fat tire.
Fun, right?
Just smooth ride.
Cool.
I think it's up.
Yeah. So she likes the speed. First time on an e-bike, she chose the fat tire. She loves it. Good
I love
fit
it.
for her height. So 6'1", or no, 6
6 even, yeah?
6 even.
Yeah.
36-inch inseam though, our largest so far. Now let's move on to our next rider.
All right, this is Katie. She is 6'1", 35-inch inseam and 34-inch inseam, 25-inch arm length. Let's see how she fits.
All right, so go ahead and hop on. Slide back. That looks really good. Now
Yeah.
lean straight. Can you get the bike straight up and down? There we go. And then put your foot on the pedal. So she's got very long legs. I would say this is up to her when she's riding, if it's comfortable or not. Based on the look of it though, I think it looks okay for her. How does it feel to you?
It feels good.
Cool. Oh. All right, let's move on. So this is going to be very similar. It's the same frame. So it's about the same fit, same result. Looks like the handlebars are adjusted a little bit differently on this one, but again, this is the external battery, internal, but same every journey frame with the forward pedaling. So you're getting that extra leg extension. But that looks like a good fit. And she actually has the same inseam as our 511 rider, so the inseam really plays into it. Let's move down to the Trike. Now you don't have to get your feet on the ground for the Tricycle. It's more about the leg extension when you're riding, and that looks really good. I could bring the handlebars up a little more so she doesn't have to lean forward, and that would be no problem at all. We have another 3-4 inches we could do to make that more comfortable for her. All right, let's keep coming down. Now this bike might be really good for her. The fat tire every journey with the bigger tires raises the bike up a little bit. Yeah, and it's just a bigger bike. Now you can tell she sits in that bike a lot better than the regular every journey. The regular every journey fits, but this is really like, for her height, arm length, leg length, looks really good. Let's keep moving down, around the block. Okay, now put your right foot on the ground. Now it looks pretty good, but she definitely looks...
Off.
Yeah, that could just be the seat tilt. It's a little bit of a small bike for her height, is what I'm looking at. She's very high away from the handlebars, and her legs are a little bit cramped. So honestly, I'm going to say for the around the block for 6'1", for her 34-inch inseam, it's really not a fit. Now we've had another 34-inch inseam where it was a better fit, but I would say in particular for her, there's a better fit bike. The Every Journey so far would be better than the around the block. So I would rule that one out. Now let's move up here. I'm going to try pulling this up a little bit for you.
I have a crush on this one.
So yeah, that one's a lot better for her. In terms of her leg extension, she's up on her balls of her feet. And you have a little bit more lean forward in the body ease, but that's a really good fit for her size. Let's try now the ride in the park. Same thing, that's actually a pretty good fit. The handlebars could come up a little bit more. We could tilt them up a little bit more. Yeah. But in terms of the leg extension, that looks pretty good. She has to reach a little bit for the bars, but overall I would say it's a fit. All right, moving on down. Now lastly, this one actually I think is an even better fit than the last one. Good leg extension, and the bars are actually in a better position for her. Now this is a little bit more of an aggressive position. You're supposed to lean forward in the commuter style, just for faster speeds, things like that. So of all the bikes you've sat on, which one would you want to test ride?
This one.
Cool. All right, so now we're moving on to a different one for our taller rider, the Reach Your Destination. Let's see how she fits. Okay, so Katie's about to ride the Reach Your Destination. She's been riding their electric bikes around a little bit, but before today, never ridden an electric bike, and she's ridden a regular bike a couple weeks ago. So she's an experienced bike rider, but a novice e-bike rider. So if you want to hop on. Okay. And then we'll just quickly walk you through. So here's your power. And this is the pedal assist that the motor is going to give you. So when you pedal, that's the level of assistance. If you should want, you can increase or decrease yourself while you're riding.
Okay.
You can also just use the throttle and not pedal at all. Did you do that at all today?
I did a little bit, yeah.
So you can go ahead and try that too, whatever you want. Sometimes it's fun to use the throttle to get going and just go ahead and make a loop and come back.
There she goes. Hopefully she comes back.
Looks like she's got the hang of it pretty quickly. And we're losing daylight here.
Coming in hot.
How do you like it?
Oh, it's so fun.
Comfortable?
Yes.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, so there you have it. Katie at 6'1", 34-inch inseam. She was a fit on all the bikes. I have to say, I do believe the Reach Your Destination and the Body Ease were two of the better fits for her height and her inseam. So let's move on to our next rider. Hey guys, we're here with Kira, our final woman test rider today. She's 6'2", 37-inch inseam and 25-inch arms.
Yes.
And so this is our tallest inseam, which it's worked out that our tallest individual has the highest inseam. It doesn't always work out that way. And I have a feeling Kira's not going to fit on all of our bikes because, you know, we'll see in the riding position, but I already know from our previous riders that she most likely won't be a fit. So let's see which bike's going to be best for her. So let's come and hop onto the Every Journey. And I'll be honest, I don't know that I've ever firsthand sized a woman's 6'2" to the Every Journey, so this is going to be a cool experience. Okay, so, honestly, it looks okay. I mean, it's up to you. Looking at it from my perspective, it definitely looks small for your inseam, and your legs are really cramped. If it felt good to you, I would run with it. My suggestion is we move down the line and we'll see what else fits. So, specific to the rider if they like it, but it does look a little small to me. So you can go ahead and sit on this one. The frames are going to be the same, but you can try it out. So it's about the same. And it's really also in the torso, just very high up on the bike with the taller individuals, and it makes the bike look a lot smaller. So I think we can do better as we continue to move down the line. Now the Tricycle, this is pretty general. Let's see if I can get the seat up a little higher. Yes, I can. About there. Okay, give that a shot. So that actually doesn't look too bad. I think that would be fine for you. I mean, your leg, let's see, can you pedal the pedals backwards? Bring it down to the lowest point. There we go. So it's a little bit cramped on the downstroke, but not too bad. I think it would be okay. So that's a better fit than the other two Every Journeys. Let's keep going. Now this has seemed to be the winner for most of our women 5'11" and above, one of the top picks. Definitely. Now you can see how the bike fits her body a lot better. She's up high enough, and just generally speaking, she's not super elevated above the frame. She's more in the bike. The bike is not, something, she's not like on top of the bike. So this looks good to me. Let's keep moving down. Now I can pretty much tell you I don't think the around the block is going to be a good option for you. Yeah, it's just way too small. You can see how low the handlebars are, and she's really reaching down low. So not a fit on the around the block electric for Kira. Now this has been a winner. Let me raise the seat up a little bit for you on this one. So we can get the seat really high on this one. Go ahead and try that. So that's not bad either. Now we could probably get the handlebars up just a touch, but all in all, you can see the leg and the fit of the bike is pretty good. A lot better than the Every Journey. If I had to say, I still think the fat tire e-bike is the best for Kira so far. Let's keep moving down. So this one looks a little small to me too. Also, do we have any more height on the seat? I don't think so. How does that one feel to you? I'm just curious.
It feels like the other ones, but like a little bit taller.
A little bit taller? Yeah?
It feels a little bit taller.
Cool.
But I do feel like strain in my legs.
Yeah, you're a little low to the ground. Okay, let's move on to the Reach Your Destination. Let me see if I can get this seat up a little higher. Alrighty. So that one looks a little better to me. The legs are a little bit better extended. She's not too leaned forward. Does that one feel better than one of the other ones?
Yes.
Yeah? So I would say for Kira, the best fit is either the Fat Tire e-bike or Reach Your Destination or Body Ease. The Around the Block's not a fit at all, and the other ones are really up to her own comfort level. So of all the bikes you've sat on, which one would you want to test ride?
I think I want to try the big wheel.
Let's do the big wheel. All right, so we got Kira on the Fat Tire Every Journey e-bike. And so before today, when's the last time you rode a bike?
It's been at least a year. It's been at least 2 years.
Okay, at least 2 years. She was cruising around the parking lot a little bit, getting familiar with the e-bikes. But before today, never ridden an e-bike. And seems like she's already getting the hang of it. So I'm just going to walk you through everything. Right here, you've got pedal assist level. So that can go up or down. That will dictate how much assistance the motor gives you when you pedal. And then you also have a throttle here. Have you used the throttle at all?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, during the live vid. So you can go ahead and do that. So my suggestion is go ahead, hop on, do the pedal assist and use the throttle and tell us how you like it.
She's off. There she goes.
Will she come back? So she's really got this dialed in already. First time ever on an e-bike today, and she's got the hang of it. Look at that. It looks like a great fit too, honestly. How do you like it? Did you
Like a motorcycle.
You're
do you use the
second
throttle a
person
little
to
bit
say
too?
that.
I did. It's a lot of fun.
Cool.
I like it.
Well, there you go. Kira, at 6'2", 37-inch inseam, is a fit on the fat tire e-bike, reach your destination, body ease, and the every journeys depending on her comfort level. So, we made it through all the heights. Okay, so thanks for sticking around for our video. We've just sized women 4'11" to 6'2" on every 630 electric bike. Hopefully this is gonna help you at home find the right fit, size perfect for your body. If you have any other questions at all, comment below on our YouTube channel or reach out to us via email, theteam@sixthreezero.com, or call us 310-982-2877. And don't forget, take the body fit quiz on our website. Our proprietary algorithm will fit you to the perfect bike for your body and your life. If you are not happy with that, you can also watch this video and see all the women riding all the electric bikes sized and fit to their body. In addition to that, join our community. We have a Facebook pedalers group and our app. You can track your rides on the app, talk to other riders, post photos, chat, make friends. It's a lot of fun. Also, if you join the pedalers group, you can ask questions before you buy a bike. It's a great resource to get information, and after you buy a bike, share photos and be a part of the community. It's a ton of fun. And don't forget, we have a 90-day test ride your bike policy. If you don't love your e-bike in 90 days, send it back, no questions asked, no money out of your pocket. All right, so thanks for sticking around. And don't forget, it's your journey.
Your experience. Enjoy the ride.